Hello, my name is Debra Campbell. This video is for topic 4, discussion forum 4, regarding speech and language disorders. I have decided to choose 2 quotes from each video to connect them to course material. I will begin with the first video, titled Language and the Brain, Aspahia and Split Brain Patients, posted by Khan Academy. In the video, at the 2-minute 3-second mark, the narrator talks about how damage to the brain can cause damage to an area referred to as the arcuate fasciculus. She continues to explain that this is found in deaf people who know sign language. In the text, on page 264, Friend states that the clearest example of a non-spoken language is ASL, also known as American Sign Language. This non-spoken language is used by deaf people who are unable to communicate using receptive language, which is a sense of sound and verbal speech. In the same video, at the 2-minute 29-second mark, it states, the ability to conduct information between listening and speaking is disrupted, which makes them unable to repeat things even though they understand what is being said, them being the patients. In the text, Friend talks about the academic characteristics of speech and language disorders. On page 270, Friend says, as students progress through school, they are expected to have an increasingly sophisticated vocabulary, spoken and written, in order to compose stories and essays and to comprehend complex written materials such as those found in textbooks. A student with a speech and language disorder akin to the ones mentioned in the video may struggle with this, resulting in poor grading and uneven knowledge in areas. And moving on to the video titled Speech and Language Disorders, posted by Debbie Leach, at the 2-minute 13-second mark, Leach states that it is important for teachers to understand the 5 components of language listed on the screen. They read as follows: phonology, the ability to hear sounds used in language and use them correctly in words; morphology, the ability to form words using one or more morphemes; syntax, the rules that determine the order in which the words are used; semantics, the meaning of the words that are put together to form thoughts or sentences; and pragmatics, the social use of language. This connects to the textbook's explanation of language differences. On page 283, Friend states that speech and language professionals are always careful when explaining or distinguishing language differences. An example of a language difference would be an accent, which ties with pragmatics, also known as the social use of language. In the same video, at the 2-minute 23-second mark, Leach states that phonology is the ability to hear sounds in a language and use them correctly. This ties with Friend's explanation of non-English speakers who parent children with speech disorders. On page 282, Friend states, parents who do not speak English fluently may have difficulty helping their children to make sounds correctly and blend them into words. In a video titled Expressive Language Disorders, Soraya age 10, at the 1-minute 1-second mark, the text on the screen reads, Soraya comprehends the material she is trying to express, she just cannot create the appropriate sentences to express her thoughts. On page 268, Friend states, one additional disorder and complex speech disorder your students may experience is called childhood aphasia of speech. This disorder exists when a student has extraordinary difficulty in producing speech that others can manage easily. Soraya, from the video, could possibly be diagnosed with this disorder. In the same video, at the 2-minute 34-second mark, the text on the screen reads, this disorder causes Soraya to have a great deal of frustration and verbal anxiety. And the text on page 271, Friend states, in relation to the social and emotional characteristics of language and speech disorders, that, in addition to teasing, students with speech or language impairments may experience difficulty in social situations in a number of ways. Friend continues on by discussing how mispronouncing words may come with a difficulty in understanding, something that Soraya struggles with.